President Kirr returns to Juba after attending the 20th anniversary of the Rwandan genocide. Vice President receives reports on progress of institution for promotion of civil society. Central Equatoria opens 3 new primary schools in Lanya County. Thank you for joining us. This is SSTV News Hour. My name is Oyet Patrick. Let's have a look at the news in details now. World leaders, including South Sudan President, flocked into Kigali and joined thousands of Rwandans in the commemoration marking the 20th anniversary of the 1994 genocide. The genocidal mass slaughter of Tutsi and moderate Hutu in Rwanda by members of the Hutu majority started on April 6, 1994 and left about 1 million people dead. As Garang John reports, Rwandan government has accused the French for instigating inter-ethnic violence, which culminated into the genocide. We will be bringing you more details on those stories later. Of course, President Kirr returns to Juba after attending the 20th anniversary of the Rwandan genocide in Kigali. And speaking to journalists at Juba International Airport, the Presidential Press Secretary Ateng Wekateng encouraged South Sudanese to learn from the lesson of Rwanda and accept to live as people of one nation. We will be bringing you some of the footage later. South Sudan civil societies are working hand in hand with the government to render services to the communities of this country. The delegation from the Institute for Promotion of Civil Society based in Yei County briefed Vice President James Wani-Iga on their activities in the county as well as in South Sudan in general. Our reporter Henry Jada has more on this story.
The Vice President James Wani-Iga met in his office on Monday with the members from the Institute for Promotion of Civil Society based in Yei County, Central Equatoria State. The delegation briefed the Vice President, who is also the founder of the Institute, on the progress of the institution that was established in 1999 before the signing of the Comprehensive Peace Agreement with help from James Wani-Iga. The Institute has contributed on delivering basic needs to the communities of South Sudan, promoting capacity of locals, including training of organized forces on human rights and relationship between civilians and army.
Since that time, IPCS has done quite a lot of contributions in building capacities of public and private institutions in South Sudan during the liberation struggle and during the post liberation struggle and during the referendum and even up to now. His Excellency is the patron because he's one of the founders among 6 founders with some people from India and from Kenya and up to now. So the main purpose of our coming today to him is one, to congratulate him on his appointment as the Vice President of the Republic, because since he was appointed, we never came around. And the second purpose was to update him on the progress of IPCS, Institute for Promotion of Civil Society, and a newly born project of this organization, which is a training college called Institute of Professional and Civic Studies. It's a training college which is affiliated to Kenya Methodist University, and it's offering courses at diploma and certificate levels.
The Executive Director for Institute for Promotion of Civil Society, Oliver Michael, say the institute is progressing well, need to be upgraded to the college, and call for the government of South Sudan Ministry of Education to register the college that is currently operating in Yei County. He say the institute started in Central Equatorial State and now expanded its services to Western, Eastern, Jungule, and Upper Nile states.
IPCS has funded more than 36 organizations with funds that it gets from other European donors, and giving those funds to people to address the problems of their communities within the communities they live in. In terms of expansion, IPCS has expanded from Western Equatoria and Central Equatoria. It expanded this program to Jongole State, to Malakal and Eastern Equatoria states. And now, from 20 staff from original, the time IPCS was formed, IPCS now has 56 people, staff deployed to various areas, as I mentioned earlier. And the second biggest achievement is the establishment of the training college, which was the original concept, original idea of the founders, including the vice president. They wanted to establish a training college that would be providing technical support to people in South Sudan.
For SSTV News in Juba, this is Henry Jada John reporting.
Rwanda is commemorating 20th anniversary of its devastating 1994 genocide, in which more than 800,000 people were killed, while in South Sudan, the Rwandan troops serving in the UN mission in the country gathered to mark the day. The occasion was attended by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Dr. Barnaba Marial Benjamin, and other dignitaries. More in the following report.
Signifying the resilience of Rwandan people and their commitment to peace and unity of the country. While addressing the gathering of South Sudanese Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Marial Benjamin said that the people of South Sudan stand in solidarity with the people of Rwanda as they mark the solemn day.
Your Excellency, the Ethiopian Ambassador to the Republic of South Sudan, it's also wonderful to recognize Madame Alice Buhinja, who is the Rwandan community coordinator. I also the Rwandan Force commander, who is indeed the host for this great day of remembering the 20th anniversary of genocide in Rwanda. The Army's Force commander and the Army's Police commander. I also recognize the deputy representative to the Secretary, to the representative of the Secretary General, Ray. Most importantly, my brothers and sisters from Rwanda who are here in the Republic of South Sudan. I also recognize the rest of the members of Army's community, the forces who have been here in my country. I would greet you all in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ.
While the Special Representative of UN Secretary General Hilda Johnson said Rwanda genocide was the most inhuman event in the history of the world, calling on the nations to learn the experience of Rwanda by stopping conflict.
Indeed, 20 years. 20 years has gone by since one of the worst horrors ever seen in human history happened. The genocide of Rwanda. The genocide in Rwanda. 20 years has gone by. 20 years of a lot of struggle, of a lot of sweat, tears, and hard work towards a nation that has managed to lift itself out of this horror story and embarking on a future which is based on a solid economy, solid institutions, a functional government, and I think an anchor in the region for many of its neighboring countries. From being in the middle of the nightmares, Rwanda is now sending its peacekeepers to help prevent the similar horror story from happening in other countries.
The coordinator for Rwandese community in Juba said they will remember the event while promoting peace, healing and reconciliation.
Millions, as the MC has said, of young women, of older women, of men and of children, and all of them were civilians. They were massacred and they died in just 100 days. And we commemorate them, we recognize their resilience and how they died as heroes.
The massive killing in Rwanda occurred a day after airplane carrying Juvenile Bayirahama and Burundian President Cyprien Ntaryamira was shot down on its descent into Kigali on April 1994, killing all on board, triggering the world's deadliest human massacre in history.
Every 7th of April, the Rwandese people are celebrating the commemoration of the 20th anniversary of the Rwandan genocide in South Sudan, that this should be a lesson to the every world, that genocide should remain only Rwanda other than the whole world. For SSTV News, Soro David.
Yeah, genocide should never take place again, is the message the Minister of Culture, Youth and Sports, Dr. Nadia Arop, in a press conference briefed journalists about her visit to Geneva to attend a meeting organized by World Intellectual Property Organization to protect rights of people in terms of traditional knowledge and traditional culture expansion. She said it is important for people to have their ideas, inventions and traditional cultural practices protected because it can be of an economic benefit to the individual and the country at large. She also revealed that there will be a similar meeting on intellectual property protection in Geneva on 28th of this month, while the Director General of Sports in the ministry, Edward Setino, in a statement to SSTV, invites the general public to attend a basketball match between girls and boys organized by the ministry on Wednesday at Nimratalata basketball court, adding that sports is a unifying factor for all.
يديم فرصة عشان نمشي يعبروا برضو ما بكون عملنا حاجة. فعشان كده الانستيتوشن ده جزء من implementation بتاع الحاجة اللي انت بتعمله. وده شغل بتاعنا نحن كحكومة انه نوفرها عشان الشغل اللي يقدر يمشي بالصورة المفروض يمشي به. فده الحاجة برضو الآن داير أقوله، لأنه في ناس بيفتكروا إنه دولة ده بتقلب في يوم واحد، إنه إنتوا بقيتوا دولة ده معناه حاجات ده كله بيقى في يوم واحد. حسا نحن لما نمشي برا بنمشي نشوف إنه ده مستحيلات، إنه البلد ده عمله كيف بنشوفه إنه مستحيل، لكن بيكون عمله في قرون، بيكون عمله 50 سنة ولا 100 سنة عشان يصلوا الليفل داك. لكن أهم شيء شنو؟ الوطنية والتكاتف مع بعض، والناس يعتبروا إنه الوطن ده مهم. النيشن بيلدينج is not easy. ده ما شغل بتاعي براي ولا شغل بتاع president ولا شغل بتاع أي زول براي، ده شغل بتاعنا كلنا إنه how to build our nation.
We in the ministry here with the collaboration with the UNESCO, we organize an event in a basketball stadium on Monday. We are supposed to organize it on Monday, but it was rain yesterday. We postponed it, so it will be held on Wednesday, the 9th of April. And this event will just be a basketball games between girls and then senior basketball boys in Nimratalata. The event will start at 4 o'clock and it will be It will be patronized by the Honorable Minister of Culture, Youth and Sports and the UNESCO Director, and the public are all invited to come and watch this day for International Day for Sport and Peace, because, you know, as sports is a tool which bring people together, it unite people, because sports doesn't have any.
The Director General for Customs, Mikaya Modilo Bajo, returned to Juba after attending a workshop in Brussels, Belgium. The three-day workshop that brought together 179 members or member countries deliberated on capacity building, integrity of all the East African communities under one umbrella in order to avoid corruption. The workshop also discussed about the modernization system which will begin in Nimule.
I also give thanks to my line minister to have allowed me to go to Brussels and participate in the workshop that has brought all the 179 member countries all together on issues of customs. In the deliberation, the first deliberation took us 3 days on the issues of capacity building. In weeks, I was able also to participate, and the other countries were able to benefit from our newly country, and also I was able to benefit from the other countries about the modernization of the custom.
The Minister of Information and Communications in Eastern Equatoria, Clement Lago, described the general security situation in the state as stable and that inhabitants are running their normal activities. Minister Lago is in Juba on a working visit, discussed with the authorities of Ministry of Telecommunication and Postal Services, connecting of some parts of the state with communication network to the rest of the country. He also met with the management of South Sudan Television on TV transmitter in the state. Minister Lagu also talked on the general condition of the internally displaced persons from Jonglei State currently camping at the state, whom he termed as good and peaceful people.
With our work of networked, and that I explained to him about some of the establishment of some of the networks in some of the counties, which are so far without any network there. One of them is in Magui, around that is area of Mogale and in Magui, and also in Lopalafon, and around Mehejek and Lafon and Kapweta East and Kapweta North, and also part of Torit. So after discussing with him, we resolved that we hope that when the companies submitted their report of the rollout of 2012-2013, they will be able also to see to it that the rollout of 2013-2014 are to be implemented.
The Rwanda genocide of 1994 is not only a painful story, but also a learning story for the whole of Africa. And we go back to that story as we promised you earlier. World leaders, including South Sudan President, flocked into Kigali and joined thousands of Rwandese in the commemoration marking the 20th anniversary of the 1994 genocide. The genocidal mass slaughter of Tutsi and moderate Hutu in Rwanda by members of the Hutu majority started on April 6, 1994, left about 1 million people dead. As Garang John reports, Rwandan government has accused the French for instigating inter-ethnic violence, which culminated into the genocide.
And something will be implemented. In Eastern Equatoria.
Mood engulfed the Rwandan capital Kigali as Rwanda holds solemn commemoration marking the 20th anniversary of the 1994 genocide, with many survivors overcome with the emotion of reliving the trauma of the massacre that left nearly 1 million people dead. World leaders, including South Sudan President General Salva Kiir, joined the people of Rwanda as they remember the lives of their loved ones lost in the world's deadliest human carnage.
There was also a new technology of making textiles out of the ficus trees, known as a dog in one of our countries here. In the social economic spheres, the feudal system was sitting atop symbiotic societies of agriculturists, known as Abahinzi, cattle keepers, Abarozi.
The events also bore reminders of festering anger as a major diplomatic row broke out over renewed allegation of French complicity in the genocide. Official mourning, which began 3 months ago, with a flame of remembrance touring towns and villages across the small African nation, culminated on Monday when the torch arrived at the National Genocide Memorial, where the remains of 250,000 people are stored in vast concrete tombs. Rwandan President Paul Kagame lights a flame that will burn for 100 days, the length of time it took the previous government soldiers and Hutu power militiamen to carry out their plan to wipe out the Inyenzi, a term meaning cockroaches, that was used by Hutu extremists to denigrate and designate the minority Tutsis. Some world leaders who attended the event called on African and the rest of the world to respect humanity and embrace peace. The well-planned and viciously executed genocide began late on April 6, 1994, shortly after the president, who hailed from the Hutu ethnic group, Juvenal Habyarimana, was killed when his plane was shot down as it descended into Kigali. Roadblocks were set up with Tutsi men, women and children of all ages butchered with machetes, guns and grenades. An estimated 800,000 people, mostly Tutsis and some moderate Hutus, died in the killings. Chaplets were also laid before ceremonies in Kigali's football stadium, where UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, several African heads of state, including South Sudan President General Salva Kiir, and top diplomats from Europe and the United States were gathered. At the National Stadium, survivors of the genocide recounted their memories of the killings and of their survival. Several people were overcome with trauma, screaming and crying uncontrollably, with medical staff helping to carry them out and to provide counseling. Addressing the 20th anniversary of Rwandan genocide, President Kagame said French soldiers who helped train the Hutu nationalist-controlled Rwandan army prior to 1994, as well as being accused of aiding the killers to escape, were both accomplices and actors in the bloodbath.
When we were awarded scholarships and appointed public servants based on merit, without discrimination, we are being accounted. When we sanction an official, no matter how high-ranking, who abuses their power or engages in corruption, we are being accounted. As a result, our citizens expect more from government, and they deserve it.
Addressing the same gathering in Kigali, UN Chief Ban Ki-moon says the commemoration were a chance to remind the world to do all it can to ensure such crime never happen again. The UN was also heavily criticized in 1994 for not doing more to stop the killings.
We are sure to face other great challenges to our common values, and we must meet them. We must not be left to utter the words never again, again and again. Mr. President, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, there is a truth to the human condition that is.
The government and the people of Rwanda managed to reunite Rwandans despite the ethnic cleansing, helping Rwanda to improve its economy. The Rwandan genocide, dubbed as the genocidal mass slaughter of Tutsi and moderate Hutu in Rwanda by members of the Hutu majority, left about 1 million people dead. Gerang John, reporting for South Sudan Television.
And President Kirr has returned to Juba after attending the 20th anniversary of the Rwandan genocide in Kigali. Speaking to journalists at Juba International Airport, the presidential press secretary Ateng Wek Ateng encouraged South Sudanese to learn from the lesson of Rwanda and accept to live as people of one nation.
Gentlemen of the press, the President of the Republic of South Sudan, His Excellency General Salva Kiir Mayardit, is returning to Juba from Rwanda, where he attended commemoration, the 20th anniversary of the genocide against Tutsis in Kigali. The event was a very colorful event. It was well organized. Our leader, President Salva Kiir Mayardit, was able to sit among the leaders of other countries that have attended, including President of Uganda, President of Kenya, President of Gabon, Prime Minister of Ethiopia, and other head of state and head of government. The opportunity as the celebration has availed us the opportunity, including the president, of what South Sudan could learn from Rwanda. What we realized is that no matter what is the problem, the best thing is for the people to leave anything behind them and continue to strike the future. As our country is in crisis, as the rebel of Riek Machar are still launching attack on South Sudan.
The State Minister of Public Service, Central Equatoria State, Honorable Lily Kapuki Paul, discussed in her office with her counterpart of Eastern Equatoria State, Honorable Lorica Stella. The meeting focused on cooperation and coordination between the two sisterly ministries, including training. Minister Lily assured her counterpart of full cooperation.
I met earlier on the minister, the national minister. We discussed about pension, insurance, we discussed about allowances, and we also discussed about the trainings of our civil servants, that they need to be trained. Their capacity needs to be built so that they're efficient enough to perform. So we discussed so many issues that he says he will look into that, and something will be implemented soon.
In Eastern Equatoria State, we came to discuss the interests of public servants in the country as a whole, and also in the two states, because we are facing a lot of challenges in labor and also in the human resource development. We talk about the training of the civil servants, we talk about the salaries and the grading system. We talk also about the allowances.
The people of Lanya County now have a reason to smile as the Director General of Education in Central Equatoria State, Moses Joseph Kirr, officially opened 3 primary schools in Kupera and Wuji Payams of Lanya County, funded by Constituency Development Fund.
County is overwhelmed as the Director General for Education, Central Equatoria State, opened 3 primary schools in Kupera and Wuji Payams of Lanya County. Koyoki, Wuji, and Korobe primary schools were built by the CDF and were operating since 2012 under the community. At Koyoki Primary School, the Director General for Education, Central Equatorial State, Moses Joseph Kirr, appreciated the role played by the community for building the first 4 classes.
Schools in the state, which is additional to what we have before. Today we have another one, which is Koyoki, which is one of them, and we appreciate for that. And we encourage the teachers here also, who are not appointed, to continue with their volunteering. That is what I would like to say. Thank you. Thank you.
In a statement to SSTV, the County Education Director, Obodia Miller, appealed to the state government to provide the schools with teachers, since the schools are run by volunteers from the community.
I'm Obodia Manas Miller, County Education Director, yes, from the inhabitants here.
Thank you.
At Wuji Primary School, whose motto is Education for Future Victory, Honorable Agnes Nyoka from the National Legislative Assembly said the government allocated the CDF for development in counties, and she appreciated the role played by Lanya MPs to develop the education sector in the county.
I'm from Lanya County. This time is a time of problems, confusion within our South Sudan. And today I'm in Wuji. We've come here to open a school, which is the primary school for Wuji. And this is the first school which is being opened by the government here at Wuji. And this is the school which will use the CDF within the National Assembly, which was for Honorable Usman, Honorable Dr. Samson Paji, and Honorable Jimmy Remy. Today we are here to witness the opening and also to mobilize the community about the current situation, especially bringing forward, talking about the peace building, conflict transformation, and to make sure that all the crisis which is happening is known down here in the community level, especially in the village here in this Payam of Wuji. Here, as you're seeing around, so many things are needed, and we want to thank the government, we want to thank the members of parliament, especially for the CDF which have been working hard. Especially I want to thank Honorable Usman for what she has done.
The occasion was attended by chiefs, MPs, and Lanya community.
The Director General for National Prisons Service, General Abel McCoy, is back in the country after attending a workshop on African Summit in South Africa. Speaking to SSTV upon arrival at Juba International Airport, General Abel McCoy said the practicum discussed on the correction service and